Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and welcome to Reading on My Breaks. Today I am going to be doing my Halloween-a-thon wrap-up as well as unboxing my November Twisted Retreat book that came. So I'm going to unbox the book first because I'm really interested to see what I got. So here is the November box and inside, and the book it looks like is Do What Grandmother Says. Here is the book itself. And it looks like inside there is, that looks just like the book. And then there, so I have not heard anything about this book. Just gonna read a little blurb from Library Journal down here. It says that it is a tightly woven dual timeline thriller with elements of occult horror and historical fiction. So that sounds really interesting. The author is L.S. Stratton, and this book is beautiful. I am excited to hopefully get this in during November. It's a beautiful book. All right, so let's do our first roll for Halloween-a-thon. So the first prompt that we landed on was The Witch's Hat, which is a Lauren prompt. And for this, I chose to read a book that is the same color as the packaging of my favorite candy. I love Starburst, so I chose The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. This story is about Hannah, who is a bodyguard. She's very much a workaholic, and she uses her work to escape things in her life. When her mother passes away and her boyfriend dumps her, she's in a situation where she wants to get a big promotion and move to London and just get out of the feeling. And so her boss gives her a job to bodyguard a movie star local. His name is Jack Stratton. And so she goes to do that, and they slowly fall in love with each other. This is a rom-com. It's very cute. I love Catherine Center books. Whenever I am in a funk with reading, her books always just bring me out of it. And for roll 2, I landed on a pumpkin, and this is a Kelsey prompt. And for this, I chose an activity to share one of my favorite quotes from a book that I chose to share. This isn't verbatim from the book. I cut it up to the parts that spoke to me. This is going to be from the book Light from an Uncommon Star by Rika Aoki, and this is on page 192 to 193. I will type up what I'm reading right here because I know I have to read sometimes to hear people. Don't think you are special. You are a digit trying to dodge statistics. And while you are still insignificant, leave now. Never say you are escaping. You just want something new. Be honest where you can. Let them find your lies. Let people laugh that you are leaving for some distant nothing place. When they laugh, think of how their laughter means you have fooled them all. And as soon as you get everything, just go. They cannot know how much you will miss everything you are leaving behind. And this is a Cameron prompt. And the prompt that I chose for this one is to read a TV show themed by a comic. And for this, I watched an episode of Doctor Who. Was a comic strip before it became a TV show, and originally was published. Oh, I wrote it somewhere. It appeared in November 1964, and that was a year before the television series started. I love Doctor Who. For roll 4, I landed on a candy corn space, and this is a kitty spot. And for this, I chose to watch a movie with possession, and I watched the Korean film The Possession. Put it right here. This movie was about a teacher, and her sister is missing. And so she goes around trying to find her, and you kind of backstory as you're going, and people are dying around her, and they see her sister before she dies. So this whole time you're thinking that the sister is the one possessed who's come back from the dead. But then the thing that possesses her also goes into other. It's very weird. But I just had so many questions at the end of it. I just wanted to talk to somebody about, and I was hoping that somebody on Discord would be like, "Oh yeah, I watched that movie," blah blah blah. But didn't happen. So if you guys have watched it, what did you think about the end? Like, I don't know. Let me know down below. And for roll 5, I landed on a candy corn. And for this, it's a Kelsey prompt. And I chose to pick a prompt from one of the Monster Squads. And I chose the prompt to watch a movie with a child main character, a spooky movie with a child main character. And for this, I watched Eli on Netflix. I chose this movie because Beth from is my inner animal. What do you call that? Oh my gosh, my words today. I just, yeah, that's what it is. Beth is my spirit animal. I chose this movie, not a book. I chose this movie to watch, and it is a boy who is to the outside, and the air, water that's outside of him, his body is allergic to. And so his parents are trying to take him to an expert to help him heal from these issues that he has, as they think it's his body attacking itself. And so boy ends up, starts seeing ghosts once he starts the procedures and everything. And he slowly finds out that everyone who has gone through these treatments has died. And so, his parents, we gotta go, we gotta go. It was a good movie. The twist at the end was a little like, recommend it. It's on Netflix if you have Netflix. Again, the movie is Eli. I will put it right here. Yeah, the one I did for that prompt. And for roll 6, I landed on candy corn, and this is a Kelsey prompt. And for this, the prompt I chose was to eat my favorite Halloween candy. And so I ate some Starburst. Roll 7, I landed on a witch's hat, which is a Lauren prompt. And for this, I watched a spooky season of a childhood favorite TV series, and I watched a Gummy Bears episode on YouTube, the one where the trolls escape the castle dungeons and they go to find their gold under the apple tree, but the apple tree has been moved because the princess wants to give it to her father as a gift, and so the trolls go after the Gummy Bears to get their gold back. Yeah, it was a fun time. For roll 11, I landed on pumpkin, which is a Kelsey prompt. And for this one, I chose to start a knitting project. It says to do a spooky one, but I decided just to do a fall one. So I have started a chunky blanket project. It's not done yet. I was doing what is it called? Finger knitting? Hand knitting? I don't know. But it was killing my back. So I did the needles, but as you can see, if you look closely, doing the needles, because I have a habit, which is just bad, of doing very tight. I don't know if you guys can even see it. The difference between these. Yeah, you can see it there. I knit very tightly. It is a bad habit of mine. When I do fine projects, it really kills me. But so I might undo that and just go back to finger stitching, where you're just using your hands to pull the loops through. Because I do like the way that this looks down here more than the tight knitting here. But that is my ongoing knitting project. Roll 12, I landed on the hand coming out. You know that is the Living Dead. The hand coming out, and this is a Katrina prompt. And for this, I I chose the read a book with the supernatural elements, and I read Pet Cemetery. I have never watched Pet Cemetery. I did not like scary movies growing up. Um, but this book, if you guys don't know, is a Stephen King book, and it is about a family that moves to a house kind of in a desolate area, but it's on a busy road. And there's a lot of trucks that come through all the time. And at one time, the house cat ends up getting hit by a truck. And so this guy's neighbor's like, hey, there's a pet cemetery up there. We could take the cat up there and bury it. You know, you love your daughter. You want her to have the cat. We could do this. And so he went with him, and they walked and walked and walked and buried the cat. And then the cat comes back different, but the cat's there. And so um, the story goes on from there about how weird the cat is, things weird going on, how the cat's changed and smells like death and dirt now. And the daughter doesn't really want the cat anymore because it's weird and creepy, and she can't cuddle with it because it stinks. And the book kind of progresses with this kind of spooky element of, you know, the dead coming back once it's gone, once it's been buried there. And these, I think they're like Indian, not Indian burial grounds, but something to do with that. Um, and then, yeah, the story goes on from there. I don't want to ruin it if anybody hasn't read it, but that's kind of the what do you call it? Idea of what the book is about. I did enjoy it. It wasn't as spooky as I thought it was going to be, but I can see it being kind of like on the creepy side if I didn't already know what was going on and if I didn't know what the book was about maybe before I picked it up. For my next role, I landed on a ghost, which is a caravan prompt, and I chose the prompt to decorate for Halloween. And this is what I have. It's minimal, but I love it, and I think it adds a lot of fall fun. And for roll 14, I landed on another ghost, which is a Cameron. Prompt I chose was a book set in a small town. And the book I chose for this was Death Overdue by Alison Brooke. And this book is about Cassidy, and she moves to a small town where her aunt and uncle live, and is living with them, trying to get her feet on the ground. And she got a job at a library and soon gets promoted and starts doing the events at the library. And one of the events is a reporter coming in who has written a book about a death that happened in the community. And she gets into it, and it becomes like a little cozy murder mystery. Really cute book. For roll 15, I landed on a candy corn prompt, which is a kitty. And the prompt I chose for this one is to read a book with a werewolf in it. And I read Lucius Luna by C.J. Primer. And this is the fourth book in the Shadow Air series. And this book follows Avery. And Avery goes out for a run one night and gets captured by werewolf hunters and is taken into the dungeon, and they're trying to find out where the Alpha is and where her clan is so that they can go and they can capture and kill more of them. And her captor, one of her main captors, ends up becoming the love interest. And it's kind of a battle in his head of, you know, why do I have feelings for this werewolf when I was, you know, born to hate werewolves? And it goes on from there. It's enemies to lovers. Really well done. I really like CJ Primer's book. So make sure that the first one is called Alpha something, Alpha. I'll put it right here. Um, yeah, great series. I highly recommend it. the final roll got us off of the map. So those are all of the books that I read for Halloween-a-thon. Again, thank you, Kelsey, and all of the monsters and co-hosts for putting this on. This was a very fun readathon for October. I enjoyed it a lot. If you enjoy book content or anything like this, please subscribe below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Happy reading, everyone.